everyone, and welcome to the Malthaus Games Podcast. My name is Delton. I'll be your host today, and with me, as usual, is my lovely wife and yellow player, Haley.
Hello, friends.
This is the Malthaus Games Podcast, episode number 170. We are a podcast all about board games, card games, role-playing games, tabletop games, dice games, things of that sort, and beer.
Hey, foreshadowing to today's topic. Foreshadowing.
What?
You look like you took the slow train from Philly.
Is that from something?
Yes,
Or is
from
it-
The Office.
I don't remember when.
Whenever Dwight and Michael are going to Philadelphia to go to the conference, and Angela doesn't really want Dwight to go, and she says, we have a saying in the Martin family about whores. Looks like someone took the slow train from Philly.
Okay. That's such a deep cut quote.
Well, I say that because it's actually foreshadowing for our beer and our topic.
So the beer, to start this episode off, is from Marshall Brewing Company, which is here in Oklahoma. I forget where they brew out of. Is it Tulsa?
Tulsa, America. T-Town, baby.
All
Little
right.
Tulsa symbols on the side.
Oh, I see.
I got you, girl.
That also, like that kind of symbol, maybe Tulsa, it also feels like Nashville, and it also feels like all these towns that try to have their symbols, and it's some kind of combination of geometric shapes.
Yes, but that's T-Town.
Okay, got it. This is from Marshall Brewing Company. This is Slow Train India Pale Ale. It is a 7% alcohol by volume. This one is not a fancy can of beer. It is not a fancy beer. However, it is an IPA in this state that we have not had before, courtesy of Ben.
Of our Ben, a factor.
Do you want the one with less or more?
I would like the one with less, so that way I can have the one with more for the second round. That's how it works.
Fair. It's fair because that one has grapefruit in the title. So
That's what I was thinking.
all right. So this one is a good light color, very, very slight tint of amber to it. It's mostly the standard beer, kind of yellowy, whatever that color would be. There is not really a bit of haze, but it's not crystal clear either. It's got a tiny bit of haze to it, but it's not actually a hazy IPA.
It looks really rich.
It smells delightful.
It smells incredibly sweet.
It smells like a very sweet IPA, definitely a 7% where they've got a little more body to it.
Bottoms up.
This one is extremely crisp.
Wow.
Crisp, but still full in mouthfeel.
The hops are almost like an aftertaste. You don't really taste them directly, but after you swallow and let it sit for a couple of seconds, then you start to taste the hops.
That is interesting. It's almost like they used hardly any aroma hops. It's all bittering hops in this one, which I don't remember now because it's been so damn long. But aroma hops and bittering hops depends on when you put it in the boil. I believe the early editions come out as bittering hops because they're in there so long, and the later editions are aroma hops where more of the oil is present and they don't have as long to cook and break down. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've thought about that, but yes, that is interesting that it comes out at the end. And I like how in the beginning, in the middle, and most of the end of this, it's a very crisp IPA, but it's not light, it's not thin. It's still full-bodied. It foams a little in the backside. My mouth's watering now, kind of foamy, but that's really good.
It's like a refreshing IPA. I feel like most IPAs are filling. This one tastes refreshing.
Yes, it still will fill me, for sure. But this is honestly, Marshall does really well. I don't know that we've not liked a Marshall yet.
I don't think so. This is like our probably third Marshall?
Maybe I would have to go through the list of way too many beers at this point. But no, that's really good. I like that. This is Marshall's Slow Train IPA. 7% alcohol by volume, nothing to sneeze at. Really tasty, classic IPA.
10 out of 10. So what have we been up to, Delty Poo?
We have been working and shopping.
We finally had our first shopping day in, I would say, a year and a half, 2 years, because we've been very strict on our spending and haven't had days where we've gone out and just shopped in a long time.
And this isn't just shopping as in, hey, that looks fun, let's just buy that. We actually had a goal in mind, and we had things we were looking for. Like,
agendas.
We had agendas in terms of, I need a pair of shoes. And that was the agenda, was to find that pair of shoes to fit the necessities we wanted and our different things. I need, shorts. What kind of shorts? This kind of shorts. Let's go find the kind that you like. So we had an agenda. Haley, why did we have an agenda?
Because we are going to Hawaii on Saturday. So we are recording this on Wednesday so that way it can be
It's
music to your ears
it's
while we're
Tuesday.
gone. Oh God, it is Tuesday. This is like the third time I've done this. My sister and I both thought it was Wednesday today. It is not Wednesday,
I
my
did too.
dudes. Meh.
I also thought it was Wednesday. It's because we've both slept like shit the past few nights.
In our defense, there are tornadoes.
There's been a lot of storms and tornadoes around, and hail, and thunder, and lightning, and rain, mixed with busy, 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 especially for Haley, mixed with having to go shopping, and mixed with prepping for the trip.
And for my conference.
Yes, that's why you're so busy.
I don't think I've told anyone about my conference coming up.
I don't know.
So every year, my work has this big conference that we put on. Every year, it's been growing. And it's basically me and my boss who puts it on behind the scenes. We're just like scrambling, trying to duct tape things together, but it always turns out great. And knock on wood, this year is going to be the best one yet. I am super stoked because I'm going to be at the hotel tomorrow night awaiting the arrival of the American Psychological Association president. And so she's going to be our keynote speaker for the event. She's going to be presenting, she'll be doing an apology on behalf of the APA to Indigenous Americans. And for you all who don't know, we're in Oklahoma, and there is a significant population of Indigenous Oklahomans and or Indigenous Americans, and more than half the state is actually tribal land. And so it's going to be an amazing talk. And I'm so stoked to hear the presentation. I'm also really giddy because she told me to call her Deborah, and I'm like, whoa. I'm on a first name basis with the APA president. And then day 2, we have Dr. Edel Torres Rivera, who's the president of the American Counseling Association, and he'll be talking about social justice and psychology. And so I'm really excited because we got some pretty big names coming. And also, it's just really fun. I also got to design a game for the conference. I have made it. I have peaked. I've designed a game for the conference.
Bingo.
Yes, I did booth bingo. And so I put all of our vendors, like information about all of our vendors on a bingo card, made about 150 different copies. And we're going to pass those out to our attendees, and they'll be able to play bingo and win prizes if they get bingos by talking to people. So, of course, there's games because there is my name on this conference. Therefore, we're going to have some games.
And I think that's great. It sounds like it's going to be a very busy time, but a very good time.
Hell yeah, I get free Olive Garden too.
That just means free breadsticks.
Hell yeah, it does.
Just, you should bring me some back if you can.
Maybe.
Put them in your hotel mini fridge. That way you can bring them to me on Friday as we finish packing and getting ready for our trip.
Yeah, so I have my conference. I go tomorrow night. I stay at the conference Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday and Thursday night. Get home Friday night, and like 12 hours later, we have to leave for the airport. So I'm going to have a busy few days, but I'm incredibly grateful. Hopefully come back with stories, and the conference is going to go perfectly smoothly with no hitches at all. It's going to be great. Manifesting it now.
Yeah. And while she's doing that, I just get to clean the house and watch the dog and pick up my mom and drop the dog off with my dad.
Doing good work. Doing the Lord's work, you are.
That's it. But yes, as Haley said, we go to Hawaii this weekend. So this episode will come out and we will already have been there for, at that point, not quite 24 hours, a little under, like 20 hours or something, or 18. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a vacation, spend some time. We talked about this last time, I think. Relaxing and enjoying, and hopefully for me, hitting up a board game shop somewhere and just supporting a local shop on the island of Oahu. But speaking of board games that I don't need to bring home, let's talk about one I brought home last fall.
The last time we traveled.
Oh, here's the door. It's straight ahead. It's a game. So, the game for this episode is a small box, easy teach, easy play that we decided to talk about on the episode. This is Dandelions from former BoardGameTables.com, now All Play.
This is called a 1-minute teach, so we're going to try and make a 1-minute teach into a 3-minute board game topic.
The board game just section in general. So if you don't know about All Play, which used to be Board Game Tables, they started off making, you guessed it, board game tables. They also have table toppers, which is a like mousepad style neoprene mat. I have one. I love it. Haley can attest. We use that thing so often that it has absolutely paid for itself. I think I got it on one of their Kickstarters when you could get it for like a little cheaper through the Kickstarter. Absolutely love it. They also make the Board Game Tables bag and some totes that I have as well. So they make a lot of good stuff, but more importantly, they make games. Games that we have talked about on this episode. Games such as Ghosts of Christmas, 9 lives. What else have we talked about of theirs on here?
Oh gosh, a lot.
We've
Inflation.
mentioned them. That's not through them.
Oh, it's not through them.
That's just Taiki Shinzawa again.
Oh, hi, Taiki Senzawa.
I'm trying to think of one if we've reviewed it on the show. I don't know if we have.
Chomp.
I don't think we reviewed Chomp
Have we not reviewed Chomp
or Sequoia.
or Sequoia?
I don't think so. We just need to do a lot of these at one point.
We just need to do a whole episode dedicated to them. 'Cause they're great.
Same thing with Oink. We got to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dandelions is part of their 1 minute teach. They have small box, big game, 1 minute teach, and trick taking games. Those are basically their 3 categories. Dandelions is a game about floating your dandelion from garden to plant more seeds than your opponent. And that is exactly accurate. It is designed by Takashi Sakaue. Now, our box was one of the first prints which had a typo or a mislabel saying it is designed by Taiki Shinzawa.
Hi, Taiki Shinzawa.
He did not design this game. It was just something that was an error when they were trading over to their all-play packaging, and they have since fixed it in later printings, but if you look it up online and see that, it is not Taiki Shinzawa, it is Takashi Sakaue. Illustration is Anka Gavril and Daniel Profiri. Graphic design by Luke Adams. Consulting, John Brieger and Michael Dunsmore. And I'm going to go ahead and read the special thanks of James Nathan, Dale Yu, and Mandy Tong, because there's only 3 names, so it's easy. So this game is very simple. There are 5 garden locations on the board. One of them is worth 1 point and has 5 spaces. One of them is worth 2 points and has 4 spaces. 3 points, and you guessed it, 3 spaces. 5 points and 2 spaces, and 8 points and 1 space. Those spaces are occupied by your player token. Now, this game only holds 2 to 3 players, which makes it kind of unique in that regard. But you start on the garden, the 1 point garden, with your tokens on there. There's a handful of dice that you roll. Everybody rolls their dice and lines them up in columns so everyone can see what numbers they have, what values those dice are. On your turn, you will pick a die from in front of you. You will move the number of pips that are on that die, and the garden that you land in, you will then put that die in that garden. That is planting it. And then the next player is going to go. If you ever move and your final landing spot is where somebody else's token is, you immediately get to move the same number of spaces you moved from your die again, and so on until you finally hit a spot with nobody in it. The only other 2 rules in the game are whenever you land in a garden and you put your die in there, if your die is a value 4, and there was another value 4 die of an opponent's in there, that die, the opponent's, gets pushed, it says, a gust of wind, to one of the adjacent gardens. And that does not chain react, but it happens in that one space and that one placement to all opposing equal value die. The only other rule is if you ever land on the start space, you get to immediately re-roll all the dice. I almost said die, and then I extended it. It sounded weird. All of the dice in front of you to basically refresh your pool of dice. Once everybody is out of dice, then you are going to score. Anywhere that you have dice, you get to take the number of dice times the number of points on the garden. So if you have 3 dice in the garden that is worth 5 points, you get 15 points. 2 dice in the garden worth 3 points, you get 6 points. Then everybody gets seed scores. Whoever has the most die in a single garden is going to score the number of the sum of the pips on the dice. So if Haley has 2 dice in the 3 garden and I have 4 dice, I then get to add up the pips of whatever they are showing on those dice, and I will get that many points. And then at the end, whoever has the most points is the winner, and that's the entire game. Super simple, super clean, and similar to their game Sequoia, nature-based, which I really like.
Nature.
Exactly. So, Dandelions, something I really enjoyed about this, and I talked about it when we played it last night, is aside from just being simple, fast, easy, and what I think would be a good one for younger kids or whatnot that are doing like math, because you have to move a certain number and then you have to count up the dice. I don't know. Anytime there's a lot of math like that, even though this isn't necessarily a lot, but you know.
Oh, it is math, and it's also thinking ahead too. It's planning.
Yes. But something I liked about it is, you pick a die and you move that number of spaces. And then if you're ahead of your opponent and they pick a die and move it just enough to land on top of you, then they get to take that same number again. Well, 2 or 3 times it happened where Haley moved or I moved, Haley jumped off my head, basically getting to move extra. I did the same to her, and then it put her in a position to take the only space on the 8-point garden tile. You did that twice. Now that I'm thinking about the end of the game. And the next round, I did the same thing. She jumped me, I jumped her, thinking, yeah, I'm going to get so far ahead, but it allowed her to slingshot into that space again. So I really like that with being such a simple set of rules, it has a situation where, yes, it is more efficient in terms of movement to land on your opponent and then kind of slingshot again ahead. However, strategically, that might not be the best option for you at that time. And I really like when a game has that come out so soon, so quickly, first round, basically. I was like, oh, well, shit, I put you in position for that. Okay, well, next round, next circle around the board, I'm going to get it. And then I did it again. I threw you right in that same position. But I liked having that realization in the game because it immediately took a game that's just very simple and, light. It took us like 7 minutes to play the game or something.
Yeah, super short.
Very short and fast. But it immediately made me want to stop and think a little bit harder about what I was doing. Because as Haley said, this is a game with that is good for planning.
Yes, I think I counted there's 15 pips around the whole board. And so you can, if you wanted to. So whenever you roll your die at the beginning, you have to line out, all your ones, all your twos, all your threes, all your fours. You can kind of partition them out to where how many die you have to get to that 15 spot. But you have to keep in mind, like Delton said, if you land on top of your opponent at any time, then that doubles. And so it's planning, but there still is a little bit of strategery in there that keeps you from being able to plan out your entire game.
Yes, which is something you want in a game, right?
Right.
I would like to play this with a full 3 players. I do think it would have more situations of competition with the number of dice on a garden, more situations of bouncing off of the other one's heads, and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really simple game. It's clean. I also enjoy Sequoia. That's part of their 1-minute teach. It's an area control, but a lot more pure. There's something about these really simple, small box, good production that are a fun, quick, short game you can teach to pretty much anybody. And there's something about that I enjoy.
The box is also pretty.
It is. Dandelions has one of the best of their boxes, I think, in terms of just like how pretty it looks. With the dandelions that they almost look like cotton balls. It makes you think of a cotton field more than anything. Like when you look at it up close, I guess. But it's a fun game.
It's a psychedelic cotton field.
Sure, with all the background wavy stuff.
Yeah, you smoke too much of that ditchweed out in western Oklahoma, and that's what you see.
Yeah, go talk to my dad about that.
That's where I heard the story.
Hey. But no, so Dandelions is really simple. That's all there is to the game. It's very fun, though, and if you like games like this that don't take a long time and play with pretty much anybody that you want to play with, and I don't know, you can just have a lot of fun, I say go for it, because I really enjoy them, and they also look good on the shelf together.
And it's also great because I won.
Piece of trash.
Hey, what can I get you?
I'd like a topic.
Any special way?
Make it a top shelf topic.
Coming up. Enjoy. So the topic of today's episode is, as Delton foreshadowed, and as I foreshadowed earlier in the episode, trash talking in games.
Yes, Haley had the idea, because we do this a lot to each other, to talk about trash talking in games, because it can take a lot of different forms, and it can also be something you want to include and something you don't want to have, depending on the person.
I think for me, I'm incredibly reserved whenever it comes to trash talking in games. I reserve it for you, and I usually will trash talk whenever we're playing, but I don't think I really trash talk friends too much unless I'm playing a game that is like a take that and that the trash talking is part of the culture of it. Like, what was the Trash Panda game that we played with Steven?
Trash pandas.
Trash pandas. Like that one. Steven was just, his entire mission that whole game was just to wreck shop and make us lose and like throw us off our game. And so, of course, we want to trash talk then. But I feel like I'm pretty reserved all in all when it comes to trash talking. What about you?
I think it comes down to what you consider trash talking.
Ooh, what do you consider trash talking?
Well, I mean, when it comes to me, like, I have comments all the time to people, but it's tough because I'll say something just because somebody does something frustrating, but it's not that I'm. What is it? What's the Kelly quote from The Office, to quote The Office? She's like, there's a difference between trash talk and smack talk.
Yes.
And that is something here.
I talk smack.
Yes, you talk smack, and I don't know how to define the difference, but
I'll just continue the Kelly quote.
oh, okay, there you go. That's right.
Insert your mama joke here.
But I will always like insult you playing if you're a friend and somebody that I like, I will throw an insult your way if you take something I want and like, "Ah, damn it. Freaking dick." Like
You
I
son of a
I
bitch.
do that a lot. "You son of a bitch." Asshole. Like I'll do that kind of stuff, but it's not I feel like that's not quite the same kind of trash talk that like Steven was with Trash Pandas, where it's very, just being goofy and very lighthearted fun, but it's like actively insulting just for the fun of insulting.
So that's smack, I think. That's
Yeah.
talking smack. So I guess trash talk is like cussing someone out or insulting someone. Or no, trash talk is just like cussing someone out. Smack is like those tailored insults.
Yes, I could see that. But in general, though, the trash talk we're talking about, I feel like encompasses both for what we're
Yes, our
talking about here.
operational definition will include both of those subjects.
Yes. A lot of like one of the things to consider though is when it comes to trash talk, like I even said with my own, yeah, I'll insult somebody and say something like that, like to my friends. But that's exactly a big key to that is to my friends. There is a group of people in which, or different random strangers in which I wouldn't do that to because I don't know these people and I don't want to harm their game time or potentially accidentally insult them when it's just like a friendly kind of gaming banter, but that's honestly something to consider with trash talk or any kind of, insults thrown around the game table for fun is you have to consider as well like your audience a bit and consider who you're playing with and what their relationship to the game is as well.
Because you don't want trash talk or smack talk to accidentally become gatekeeping.
Ooh, that's true. That's a good one. And one thing with more of the smack talk side of it that I thought about today on my drive home, and I keep forgetting about it and then remembering it, and right now it's just looping. Forget, remember, forget, remember, forget, remember, like a friggin' busted up hamster in a ball, except there's a hole on one side. That's how it feels right now. I'm
The
very tired.
hamsters escaped.
The hamsters escaped. Get him. Where'd he go? I don't know. Whee! That's basically it. One thing to consider, though, too, or not to consider, but think about when it comes to like smack talk, there is a instead of saying a time and a place, there is a game and a situation.
Oh, yes.
Because one of the things with smack talk, I really like smack talk or telling somebody they suck at this game or whatever when it's absolutely luck based. You roll the die and you fail your roll. You suck at rolling die. You're the worst dice roll. Like
That's so true.
that stuff's funny and fun. But if you're playing crokinole with somebody and you're like, you suck, you can't do nothing, like then it's not as fun. It could be, depending on the person.
I'm about to say you do it to me all the time, you jerk.
That's fine. But it can feel more insulting. It can feel more frustrating for that person who's having a hard time with a skill based activity. So I feel like there is a line there, or there is a game, to really think about: is this skill based or is this luck based, and how could this initially fun kind of trash talking be taken as something that's actually more frustrating and could increase somebody's like frustration just in that moment. Because if I'm playing something that's very skill based and someone's talking trash because I'm doing it poorly, I'm going to start to get frustrated because I'm already frustrated at not being able to accomplish this skill based thing. And then that's being layered on top of it. But if I'm just rolling dice, like you could argue Strike has a little skill with how many dice you knock over in the bowl. But let's be honest, it's a completely lucky thing.
It's like 5% skill.
Yes. So if somebody rolls in Strike and they do something, stupid and they miss, it's really funny because you can insult them. That's fine. You can, we'll poke fun at each other because it's just luck if those die roll and end up matching. Does that all make sense?
Absolutely it does. And I think that's a really good point. And I was thinking back to, the last few times we played games. We've played a lot of Strike lately. We've played games with my sister and my niece, and we played games with Brian and Jessica. And you are absolutely right. Like, you tend to trash talk whenever it is luck-based things because it just kind of diffuses the situation, makes it more fun. I think bantering is a lot easier whenever it is luck-based because there's a lot less room for feelings to be hurt, and you can just make fun of the game rather than the person.
Exactly. You're making fun of the game or even the situation. You're not making fun of the person. Now, there are times to make fun of the person, specifically when I play with Brian and almost everything. We'll do that to each other a lot, but that's also just our relationship. So I think all that needs to be considered when it comes to trash talk. It can be a very, very fun thing to have at the table, lighthearted, maybe have a drink or two. Everyone's just enjoying their time, but it's gonna depend on, how do you like taking it? If trash talk affects you negatively, then the game can change whether that is worse or better. And it's something to consider then to reflect on that, to think about when you're going to use it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so banter should be a way to improve the social situation.
Yeah.
And so if it's not going to, like, don't make the joke, don't poke fun, don't engage in the banter if it's going to make the game experience worse. There's no joke that is going to be worth that.
There you go. I like it. You're getting my rambling under control.
Paraphrase, reflect.
I think you've done it. But yes, so yeah, there's your trash talk. Masterclass. Hell, I don't know. Let's move to the beer, because I'm freaking sleepy.
And also, tornadoes.
Didn't think about that, and it's literally on the can. The next beer for this episode, the second beer, the last beer, the final beer.
Also, we're really sleepy because we actually did have a tornado watch until like 1 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And long story short, I was up till 1 o'clock last night. And so we're really sleepy. So let's celebrate the tornado watch with what we got.
Our location on the map last night basically just like split the pins in bowling. It was a 7-10 split, north of us and south of us.
By like 5 miles. Like 5 miles north, got destroyed. 5 miles south, 2 hours later, got destroyed. We got like a rain.
We got no rain, no hail, no tornado, which is good. Those are all good things. But also you don't always sleep as soundly. So the beer, to be perfect paired to this, is from Coop Ale Works. Now, Ben, this is also from our Ben Factor Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Ben over here has tried Coop's F5 before, which we traded with him that time we did that beer swap.
What do you think of it?
I think he said he liked it. It's definitely classic, just IPA. And the thing is, the F5 from Coop was the first like big IPA in Oklahoma when IPAs were just starting to be a big thing.
Really, when breweries were just starting to be a big thing in Oklahoma, like that.
Oh yeah,
that renaissance in, what was that, 2012 or so?
Something like that. And F5 hit, and my God, everybody, everywhere, just constantly, that's what they wanted all the time. Still a solid beer. Well, now they have changed it up, and they have different, I'm going to say flavors. I don't know if it's hops. I don't know if it's flavor profile. Like, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they're changing it up.
You're going to hate it.
I figured this is F5 Grapefruit IPA.
I'm going to love it.
12 fluid ounce can, 7.1% alcohol by volume with 85 IBU, which is pretty bitter.
Smell it, Del.
If you are new to the podcast and new to beers or new to Oklahoma and tornado culture, F5, now considered EF5, is a classification of tornadoes based on the speed of the winds. An F5 or EF5 now is the biggest tornado.
It is what scientists call a big-ass tornado.
Yep. So the one, sadly, that recently, last month, April? Or was it beginning of this month?
Oh, it was not this weekend, but last weekend.
In like Nebraska or...
Oh, the one in Sulphur that destroyed Sulphur?
No, there was one north in like Nebraska or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was the biggest hurricane since the 2013 Moore.
The biggest
2015
tornado?
Moore. Yes, biggest tornado since the one that came through Oklahoma City, the one that got my aunt's house.
That was in 2013.
Yeah, so it's the biggest tornado since then, and it's the first F5 since then. So it's very dangerous, F5 tornadoes. I don't know what the classification is. I imagine its wind speeds peaking like over 70 miles an hour.
So just to give you a understanding of how strong these winds are, you will have wooden fence posts go through concrete.
Yeah.
Not lying, Google it. It is literally wooden fence posts will go through, like, be sticking out of concrete curbs, like wedged in the concrete, penetrating the concrete.
I remember the one when it came through in 2013 through Moore. I believe at one point in time the like surface area that it was touching on the ground was a square mile, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
And it traveled that way for a while, and just everything in that path is just sucked off the ground and thrown. So it's terrifying. And they named a beer after it so we can drink to forget.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Anyway, yeah, let's smell the beer again.
Did you smell it?
Give it a whiff over there, Haley. Tell us what you think about the whiff.
It smells like a grapefruit. You're going to hate it.
Yeah, it
I'm going to
stinks.
love it.
I don't like grapefruit, so IPAs, if they're overly grapefruity sometimes, are just kind of blech. Grapefruit and cilantro are like my two, but cilantro will get a visceral reaction from me, and grapefruit will just get a semi-visceral reaction.
But this tastes not just like grapefruit hops. It smells like a grapefruit.
Yeah, give it a taste, Haley. Tell us what you think about this grapefruit version of an Oklahoma classic. Oh.
That's breakfast. That tastes like actual grapefruit juice. Like you squeezed a grapefruit into the beer. I taste grapefruit juice with a little hint of beer. It tastes like a breakfast item.
So.
Not advocating for drinking for breakfast.
No, yeah, please don't. So here's the thing. It smells like grapefruit. The aftertaste is slightly grapefruit bittery, but the actual beer tastes nothing like a grapefruit.
I disagree. It tastes like grapefruit juice. You ever had freshly squeezed grapefruit juice?
No, why would I?
Because it tastes like that. It tastes god dang delicious.
Oh, it's getting me now.
There's my bantering.
That second drink. That second drink is something.
That's why I let you have most of the beer on the first one. That way I can finish off yours this time.
Well, you're going to be finishing this. I'll take one more drink and then I might be done.
Yeah.
It's grapefruit
Let's
is not
go.
Grapefruit is not for me. Also though, this is very sweet. It's very, very sweet. Not in a sugary way, and definitely a fruit juice.
It's fruit juice.
Way.
I wouldn't doubt if there's like actual grapefruit juice in this. It's delicious.
It just tastes weird. I don't like grapefruit. I don't like it.
There's Delton's ASMR.
I don't like it. It's fine.
It's phenomenal.
Definitely not my choice.
My choice.
Ever.
Always.
That's where that is. But yes, let's move to the question so we can wrap this puppy up and get out of here.
And now, join us for a Malthaus Games podcast special, Pint-Sized Question.
So, the question for this episode, what is your favorite insult to sling at the gaming table?
I thought it was your favorite insult that your loved one does.
Oh, it is. And I forgot. It's what is your favorite insult that the other person in this room slings at the gaming table, which means Haley for me. So I get to answer what Haley's favorite insult is, which is probably, aside from her going, dun, 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 as she raises a middle finger from under the table.
Dun, 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 dun.
She does this often during board gaming, and every time, if people aren't used to it, they laugh. And it just reinforces her. I've seen it so many times, it just has no effect and is annoying. So here we are.
So it's working.
Aside from that, I feel like you turn into my dad, where you do be like, "Oh, you sons of bitches!" You do that sometimes.
I am Larry Brack's real son.
You might be, but I think that's kind of it for you. I feel like you're general.
For me, it's when we play crokinole. Your greatest insult is at the end of the game, whenever you've clearly won, just taking your crokinole piece and just slapping the shit out of all of mine, like slapping him away of any progress that I can make.
Oh.
Even after you've won, you're just like, you know what? I've already won, but I'm going to go ahead and take these little crokinoles and just knock your pieces to kingdom come.
It's fun.
It's insulting without words.
What's my word insult though? If we're playing a game and I insult somebody with words, what is it?
You slap the table, snap, and put your finger at them and say, "You son of a bitch."
I do that a lot. Yeah.
Do it real quick. I did my little dun 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 dun. Dun. You show us.
Oh, I just go, "You son of a bitch."
We gotta go.
Oh, I got "You son of a bitch," or "You son of a bitch."
There it is.
Snap.
Snap.
That's a bad snap.
I can't snap.
I do that, or I have asshole.
I like the "you son of a bitch" the best.
But I also do freaking dick. I just like that too. Freaking dick.
Freaking dick.
I say that a lot, especially if my worker placement spot has been taken.
You do all the time. Aw, you jerk.
Yeah, I do say jerk too. I yell lots of things at my friends.
You do, especially at your wife.
My favorite, I still feel bad of insults that aren't words, is playing. I say I feel bad. I really don't. Dodo's Riding Dinos with Tyler. And I just keep picking on Tyler.
Poor Tyler.
He was like, why? And he said something. He was like, asshole. I was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm not picking on Tyler again. That's because Tyler wins a lot.
He does win a lot.
But I just thought of that. And
Gotta keep him humble.
that's still such a great game. I love it. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. I want freaking dessert, and then I want to go to bed. So that's what we're going to do next. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the Malthaus Games podcast. I want to give a shout out to our amazing Patreon patrons, which are going to be Alan, Jennifer, and Cliff.
Woo!
Thank you so much for supporting us at a level in which you get shouted out on the podcast. If you would like to be like them, head over to patreon.com/malthausgames. You have two things that you need to do. Based off of our amazing Patreon patrons, I'm going to shout them out right now. One of which is Alan. Tuesday Night Games is within 2 weeks, I think, launching Werewolf in the Dark. Or at least by the end of the month, I believe.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I believe it's on Backer Kit. You can sign up now. We've talked about it on this show before. Please go check it out. We love it. Definitely be backing that at probably a level in which I don't need. But love the game. Alan and the people at Tuesday Night are great. They are good friends. Very happy for them. Go check it out. Also, for Jennifer, you need to go follow her at jr_game_design on Instagram, where she is showcasing her Tooth or Bear with little clips and videos where she answers questions from the game, and has even posted some different videos and different had little videos and photos of like favorite time she Halloween costume, I think was one of them, stuff like that. So go follow her there, JRA Game Design.
Oh, I'm so happy for my friends. I love both of those games, and I'm incredibly excited to own them, to have them so we can play them with our other friends.
Yeesh. Exactly. It's all happening. But yes, if you have a beer that you want us to talk about, a game you want us to discuss, a topic that we should cover, or a question to answer, send an email, contact@malthausgames.com, or you can always find us on social media at Malthaus Games and shoot me a message. You can also find Haley at
SQUIRRELYGEEK.
That is at Squirrely Geek. This is dropping while we are currently in Hawaii. I will hopefully have pictures on my Instagram. Haley will definitely have some on her hiking one.
Hell yeah.
I imagine, which is okay at hiking.
OK_hiking. Wait, OK_at_hiking.
There you go. I will try to find a board game shop in Hawaii and make a purchase, and I will post what that is. We will see how that goes. I hope they have some small stuff like Oink or All Play. I almost said board game tables. All Play like the game today. Keep an eye out for that. And then our next episode, I don't know what we have, but we will have more beers from Ben. Thank you again, Ben, for being our benefactor. We still have some money left over to buy more IPAs. Once we get back, I'm sure we will do so. And maybe if we check a bag, we can bring home a Hawaiian beer from Hawaii.
We're going to sweet talk my sister into packing a couple in her luggage.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll have to wrap them up good so if they explode.
Yeesh.
Which I hope they don't. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you again so much for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, share, and blah, 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 blah. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, sit back, relax, grab a drink, and play some games. We'll see you folks later.
Goodbye.
Bye.